This is the updated list of the top 10 rarest cars in Forza Horizon 5 for PS5, Xbox, and of course PC. Now, if you guys have been playing Forza for a while, you might know this list is pretty much always adapted to change, particularly with the Backstage Pass now introduced in the game, where some of the what previously were the rarest cars in the game are virtually in every single person's garage. But we'll be getting started with the first car on this list, and number 10 is of course going to be the Honda NSX-R GT. Now, this car has only been added to the game probably around 2, maybe 3 times in total, and is very, very difficult to find on the auction house. It's a very coveted car. If you guys ever do see one of these in the auction house, you'll be very lucky to see it, and it will presumably get sniped pretty much instantly. Now, it's a pretty cool JDM car, and the thing I like about this car is it's fairly unsuspecting. There are probably a lot of people who have this car in their garage and aren't even remotely aware of how much it's really worth, and they could liquidate it for 20 million at any given point. So it's a pretty cool car that deserves its spot at number 10. Next up in number 9, we of course have the Plymouth Belvedere. Now, this car is pretty cool. There's quite a lot of these on the auction house that were previously available when the car was first added, but since then it's pretty much dried up entirely. Super hard to find, and you guys can of course see I've got 3 of every single rare car in the game, as well as the highest level in the game, which we of course can check out my channel to learn more about. And just quickly, most of you watching this video right now are not subscribed to the channel, so if you want to help us hit 150k and stay up to date with the best Forza glitches, content, news and more, be sure to tap that button. It really helps out a lot. Plymouth is a pretty cool car as well. There are a lot of these older American muscle cars, which actually are quite unsuspecting as being super rare as well, and a couple have since been added to that Backstage Pass, but there's still quite a few. If you have in your garage, would definitely be a very impressive feat. Now, making the 7th spot is going to be a pretty similar car, definitely an older one, of course, being the Morgan Aero GT. Not too many people could boast having this in their garage, because when it was first added to the game in a Horizon Festival Players, not too many people really cared about it. If I recall correctly, it was one of the more rarer of events, or it was one of the more rare cars in that event, because you needed the maximum amount of points in that week to be able to obtain it, so not that many people even bothered. They went for the lower point car, which is probably like a Ferrari or something more desirable, and the Morgan was just something that they missed out on entirely, and they'll probably be regretting it now. Now, next up, the next car I'll be talking about is actually the Pontiac GTO Judge 1969. Like I mentioned, another old American muscle car, which is super difficult and rare to get. The 1969 Judge is again one that's quite unsuspecting. The Firebird was previously rare, but it's not so rare anymore, but the GTO Judge is definitely still up there on the list. Firebird's still pretty rare, but the Judge simply has it wiped down. Now, the next car, of course, is going to be the Ferrari 2014 California. This one is pretty significant based on the fact that, of course, it's also a bit of an older car, super rare. I mean, people think the SF90 is rare, for instance, but there are quite a few of those up on the auction house periodically, but nowhere near as rare as the 2014 California T, which definitely takes its spot on the list. And next up will be this very car I'm driving, the Pagani Zonda Oreo Edition. Now, this car is extremely rare. It was previously available in the game through an Oreo and Forza collaboration, where in real life you could purchase a package of Oreos, which would come with a code that you could redeem on Xbox in order to get this car. But since then, the promotion has now ended, and these have become very rare. But there is actually a way you can get codes for these cars delivered to you instantly for just $9.99. If you guys do want to learn more, you might want to check out the pinned comment, because we actually do offer quite a lot of these instantly redeemable for platforms Xbox, PC, and Steam. You guys can get one of these cars instantaneously and shine in your lobbies. Not many people can still wrap up having these, and definitely no one is still getting them unless it's through one of these instantly redeemable codes. And next up is going to be the Hoonigan Focus 9. This one, the Gymkhana in particular, a pretty cool car on this list, because most of the Hoonigan cars aren't too rare. We of course have the Hoonigan V2, which is pretty rare, but nowhere near quite as rare, just more expensive. But the Hoonigan Focus 9 is not one that you would see on the auction house too often, and was added to the game quite a long time ago. Maybe what might be one of the next cars we'll see in, of course, the Backstage Pass. Now, the next car is one that's definitely pretty iconic, the Mini Cooper 1965 Forza Edition. It's an electric car from 1965 and also has a Forza Edition stunt skills boost. Not too many of the Forza Edition cars are actually rare in the game. This one is definitely a bit of an anomaly. It's never really been available to many people. Not many people even know it exists, let alone the fact that it'd be electric, and definitely can be made into a very good drag car. So a super unique car that definitely deserves its position on this list. Now, the next car I'll be talking about, similarly to the Pagani Zonda Oreo Edition, is the Ford Deluxe 5-window Coupe Forza Edition. Now, this one is just like the Pagani Zonda Oreo Edition, where it was initially added when Forza Horizon 5 was first released. If you guys had purchased a custom Forza and Xbox controller, it would come with a redeemable code where you not only got this car, but also a couple of emotes. Just like the Zonda, you can still access codes to these, but they're very exclusive. I'd recommend checking out the pinned comment to learn more about how to get these, because you guys can get one of these instantly delivered to you on Xbox or Steam, but they're very exclusive. Unlike the Zonda, where it's pretty cheap and easy to find, these ones are extremely rare, and not many people can say that they have this car in particular. And of course, course, the number one spot as being the most rare car in the entire game is, of course, going to be the Ford GT OPI edition. Just like the Ford Deluxe and the Pagani Zonda, it was available through a custom collab between Forza and a company called OPI, where you could actually buy nail polish, which is a pretty interesting target given Forza's demographic is probably not those too often into nail polish. However, you could buy nail polish, get a redeemable code, and get this car, and also something in Halo, which is another game, of course, Xbox own. Now, the thing that makes this car rarer than the Ford Deluxe and the Pagani is that even if you still had one of these codes, it's not possible to redeem it. You can never get one of these again. Even if you had 100 codes from the OPI Nail Edition or the Nail Polish edition of the car, you still simply could not redeem them, unlike the Deluxe and the Zonda, where they're still available to be redeemed. So if you have one of these, you're one of the lucky last people. Now, they can, of course, come on those pre-made profiles that we offer. You can get the GT OPI edition, but without owning the DLC, you can never really drive or access the car. So it's more something you have in your garage just to flex on some of your friends. But these are the top 10 rarest cars in Forza Horizon 5. Comment down below if you think I missed any of your thoughts on this list. Like and subscribe for more, and stay tuned for more Forza videos coming soon.